a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Would you be my neighbor? What's up, everybody? It is honestly, let me see what I'm doing here. It is a really nice day outside in December in Buffalo. Now, some people like the snow. They really do. They like the snow. I am not one of them, except to snow. I like snow blowing. Now, where I currently live, I don't have a garage. And so I don't know, can you put if you leave a snowblower outside, oh yeah, it could be picked up. It's not like a car, you got a key. So until I get a shed or a garage, I won't be snow blowing, but I like the snow blow. The ski lift is open. Oh, this is
Too hot?
you got it on. You got it on hell hot. The heater is so hot in here. There we go. I'm all right. Yeah, thank you though. I appreciate that. It's burning my leg. Heat on, burning my leg. You got me in the studio, burning up.
Trying to help.
So I really do like. I think I almost messed up my watch party. Okay. I really do like. That's the only thing I like about snow. That's it.
Carolyn Lane said, "You can't leave that snowblower out; it'd be gone in Buffalo."
Yeah. I was trying to figure out a way to like chain it to the house on the outside or something, because if I had one, when I had one, the last time I had one, when I go out to snowblow, I would go all the way down the street. I mean, you're already out there, so
Absolutely.
I would do the whole sidewalk, and it's therapy to me. Except I just don't like the cold. I could deal with snow and sunshine, but snow and no sunshine and clouds and all of that. Like, I'm really so ready for COVID to be over, because I want to, first of all, I need, if anybody knows the Canadian Prime Minister, personally, call him. I need Canada to reopen, because it's only 15 minutes. You feel like you're in a whole different world. I was going to say like in a whole different country, but you really are in a whole different country. But you feel, thank you. You feel like you're in a whole different world. It just, my mental is disintegrating here. So please call the brother and ask him to please open up the Canadian border. I need it. We're going to talk about a lot today. I got a couple guests, and then I want you to stay tuned. Make sure you're getting people in here. I'm going to talk about something I promised I was going to talk about today, and I'm going to talk about it today. I want you to be able to screen record this, go back and screen record it so that you hear it straight from me. Welcome to our Facebook audience, those of you who are on y'all coming in for this discussion. Charlene Zakowski, Craig Damone, Kendall, Sharon Watts, Martin, Malika. I mean, y'all coming in. So it has been another week in which President of the United States keeps saying he's going to prevail. He showed up to a Hanukkah gathering and showed up and basically said, "We need all of you all." And they cheered him on. Listen. How many more times are you going to sue in this election? Do you think the man is going to show up to the inauguration?
I think he'll be there at the grandstand. Absolutely.
I don't. Hey, John Henry Walker. So we got a lot to talk about today. I'm going to get some guests in at the top of the show, and then we're going to talk about some developing issues. We're going to talk about your feelings about school being open again, because Now I'm hearing two sides of the argument. Maybe we'll get to all this. And we're going to talk about renters right now who I'm getting a lot of complaints from landlords that they're not paying their rent. And though they won't, what I'm being told, y'all tell me if I'm right or wrong, they won't go get the rental assistance because they have to apply for welfare first and get turned down. And I got a warning for folks. This thing will be over sooner or later. And you want to make sure you get that rental assistance because it's going to affect your credit. It could affect your credit later, or your ability to find an apartment, or your ability to apply for Section 8. We got to have a real discussion. We got to have, especially when there's help out there. Especially when there's help out there. Don't put yourself in jeopardy. We're going to talk about like legally when you talk about holding your rent because of problems. So because we had a meeting with some folks. So I'm coming back to talk about that. Who are we going to get on the line? Let's get somebody on the line.
Let's start with...
You want to start with the garden.
Okay.
So we're going to get a brother on who's doing some fresh food stuff in our community. And I kind of want to do a little experiment. I want to give somebody $20 outside of a store, the deli stores, and see if you are able to really get any deli. If I give you $20, can you go in a deli store and buy fresh stuff in your neighborhood? I give you $20, and when you come out, we'll look at it. I want to do something like that. Years ago, I did a lot more of that. I kind of want to do something like that. Jan, it's not based on you have to apply. Yeah, I know you have to apply. That's what I said. You have to apply for the county. You have to apply for welfare first, I'm being told, and then be denied. All right, who I got on the line? We got Alex on the line. Alex, what's up, my brother?
How you doing, Pastor? What's going on?
Good, man. Good. How you doing? How you holding up through all of this?
Oh, man, you know what? We've been able to do a lot of great stuff. We fed close to 100,000 people during this pandemic, working out with 100,000 families, working with different folks, different grantees. We're able to get 2 new trucks and get out there and really, really help some people. So I'm really excited about, what's going on with us right now.
Yeah, so what's coming up? What's on the horizon that I'm hearing about?
All right, Legacy Farms. And what that is we've spent almost $500,000 in produce since our 4-year existence.
All right, brother, that is terrific.
I'm excited about that, yeah. But think about it. All that money, imagine if we could have put that same amount of money just in the community.
Yeah.
And put that in people's pockets, right?
Yep.
All that money left. All that money is somewhere outside of our community.
Yes.
So we purchased this property, about 22 acres.
Wow.
And yes, sir. And folks can rent out farm space about 10,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's about a quarter acre. And what if they grow whatever they grow? The co-op would be willing to buy that from them, at the same rate of any other farm.
So, Alex, you got to help me understand this. Now, is it where is this? Is in Erie County?
This is just outside.
Okay, so it's close enough that somebody inner city could get there.
Yes, sir.
So they then rent out a space. Now I owned farmland for 10 years. I never grew anything except grass. So I'm not very well versed so they would come out and farm their area?
Yes. They would farm their area, or if they wanted to put a trailer on it and put a camper up and look up at the stars, they can do that too. But yeah, they would come out and they would farm their area. They don't have to sell to just us. They can sell to anybody. They can sell to Lexington. They can sell to Tops. They can do whatever they want to do. But it's an opportunity to give back land to people that, frankly, it was stolen from.
Wow, this is terrific, brother. So you've already secured this land?
Yes, sir. Deed in hand.
Alex, this is crazy. So is this all just flat land right now?
It's flat land. Actually, corn was grown on this land. Corn was harvested off this land this season.
Wow.
So it's tilled. It's fresh. It's only rural. It's only been rural. People could come. If they secured their plot, they could come and get the land ready for whatever they want to grow. They want to grow collard greens. They want to grow onions. They want to grow, anything that we could grow here in New York State. They're more, and they could even put a high tunnel on it. Anything they want to grow that won't get me arrested, they're allowed to grow.
So, Alex, how far of a drive is it from the city?
It's about 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, that's nothing. So 45 minutes to an hour. What town is this located in?
It is Winchell Road in Franklinville.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's not far at all. So when are you going to start putting it out there for people to rent their space to get ready for the growing season?
I'm sorry?
I said, when are you going to start advertising it for people to be able to rent space?
Right now, today, we they can go to the website. Website is Blegacy Farms. Blegacy, BLEGACY, Blegacy Farms .com, and you have all the information on there. You can even put a down payment and get all that situated all through the website.
Brother, this is terrific. This is terrific, especially when we're really trying to push healthier eating, more organic eating, for you to do this, because somebody might just want to grow something for their own household and they don't have the space. They don't have an area. I think it's so good. I think it's so good, especially for kids and young people to see it, to learn it early. And I just got to congratulate you, because this is huge. I don't know if this has been done anywhere else in the country, but regardless, you're doing it right here.
Thank you, Pastor. I'm always excited. I'm always appreciative of time and space here. And again, if anybody wants to come down, you can check out the website, blegacyfarms.com. We're going to do a field trip this Saturday. We're meeting at the Rite Aid on Delavan and Bailey at 12 p.m. tomorrow. If anybody wants to caravan down and actually come and see the land, and once you see it, once you get your hands in that dirt, it changes your life. And I want as many of us as possible to get in on this and to really own and control our own food.
That's right, brother. Well, you're welcome on this show. You know that anytime. And I'm going to talk about this. I mean, I think this is terrific. Get us some stuff we can put up on social media and share, even with the congregation, because you're doing it, man. You're bringing a sense of awareness about healthy eating, about growing your own, that we have lacked for a long time. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Blegacyfarms.com. Blegacy. You get it? Blegacy. Did you catch that, Mark?
I did catch
Blegacy Farms. Black.
Yes.
Come on now.
Black legacy.
So I'm at this season, and I want to just help people realize their dreams. I want to help people realize, because I've been able to realize mine. It is giving back time in this part of my life. It is how do you help, how do you promote other positive things that people are trying to do, and that's where my headspace is. So to have you know how much 22 acres, over 20 acres, that's a lot of land. I had 12 acres. Like I said, the only thing I grew was legal grass. That's it. And I would get on my tractor. But when I tell you the therapeutic nature of being out there on my land, building my trail. Me and Stephanie and my little cousin Cece, we built trails sometime. We would go out and just go like, let's put a trail here. And I remember us doing that. And the boys, I remember them, riding on the tractor, and they were younger, so they had to ride on with me. The deer coming right up to my bedroom window. I had timid deer out there, though. Oh, they were timid. They were scared. So even if you moved a little bit, the deer would just run.
Because they're probably used to their cousins getting shot out there.
Yeah, because they did hunt. I had a guy hunt on my property. You want to talk about police reform? I let this guy hunt on my property, and I didn't really want to, but he was differently abled, and he had been hunting there before I bought it. And he asked, and I'm like, I'm really not with hunting, but all right. I said, just you. And I look out my door one night, and he got the cops there at my property. So I go out to the door, and I'm like, what's going on? You know what the cop told me? Nothing. Go back in the house. I said, I own this. This is mine. These are my name. They go in the back. They really were trying to set up one of my neighbors or something. Not set them up. My neighbor was piling up apples. You can't do that. So the deer would come over and eat them, and then he would shoot them. You can't do that. The point is, don't have me having problems with my neighbor. I let him have it. I told him, you cannot. Oh, wow. You're not going to cause problems for me and my neighbors. You're not. So I told him he couldn't hunt there anymore. Now, remember, I'm living here in Buffalo, so I get out there when I could. I go out there one day. I hear, psh. I walk down the trail with my gun.
Elmer Fudd out there.
It's not only him. He done brought a friend. Oh, no. That boy was sitting up in that tree. And when he looked down and saw this little black man I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, such said I could. I said you got 5 minutes to take down this tree stand and get off of my property. So that was my country experience. I ain't grow nothing though. I grew nothing. I would roll over the flowers that would come up every year because I didn't want to take care of them.
Oh no.
So what Alex and them are doing, I don't need that plot of land. But I'm going to tell you what, I know people in Buffalo who will go out there and will have their whole summer if they could. Because he made a good point. If you got a little trailer or something, sit your little trailer out there. If I was a farmer, if I knew how to do it,
right,
that's the move.
Well,
that's the move.
If I knew how to do it, I would be in a different marketplace. For growing something because
legacyfarms.com. Legacy Farms. I'm going to push this. I really want this to work.
Yeah.
I really sincerely want this to work. And folks, the only way it will work as planned is if you participate, those of you who have a calling to do it. And if not, I still believe it'll work. I believe he went out there and bought him some tractors and just farmed the land.
Yep, absolutely.
It's going to work. Legacyfarms.com. Who we got on the phone, and then I'm going into the show. I'm going in. I got something to say. But while I'm getting there, Craig will say he killed the cactus. It's the truth. While I'm getting there, I want to see your opinions on schools open or not. I see Sam Radford has joined. I read about him today in the paper. Renters not paying rent. We got to talk about this. But I'm going to open up as soon as I get this last guest on. And I'm going to tell you about some developing issues. So we're getting on my other friends who see where we're at in court for the Buffalo Five. For the Buffalo Five, they are in court right now. And Sam, we're gonna get your opinion in a minute. John Henry Walker. Oh, he said call again. You trying to get John Walker on? We're getting ready to get John Walker on, and he's going to give us an update. While we're getting him on, those of you who might be watching from across the country, these are young men who were sentenced for a murder that from the time they were teenagers, they said they did not commit. They have served their time. And I have never met someone who served all of the time. I ain't going to say served their time. Served the time that was given to them, get out of jail, and continue to say that they are innocent and want to be found. They want their record to be clean as the president's will be when he leaves and he pardons himself. We don't want a pardon. We want an overturning, because a pardon says basically, okay, you did it, but we're going to get rid of it. Nuh-uh. And no. John Walker, how are you?
I am fine, Bishop. I'm fine.
Good. Give us an update on what's going on.
Okay, we went to court on December the 2nd, and there was a postponement because the attorney, Paul Cambria, did not receive the district attorney's opposition until the morning of the December 2nd. So they had to postpone it to give the attorney time enough to look over the opposition from the district attorney's office.
When do you go back to court?
We go back to court on January the 20th.
Okay. So you go back January 20th. Will there be a decision, or it just continues on from January 20th?
When we went December the 2nd, I was under the impression that they was going to make the decision right there on the spot. So when we go back on the 20th, I'm under the same impression that right there on the spot, they're going to make a decision, because the judge has all of the opposition and the motion, so he was able to make a decision right here and there. So I believe that they're going to make it right there on the spot.
All right. Well, we're still here with you. Anything you want to update us on, or that you need from the community?
Thank you for asking me. First of all, I like to for us to continue to positively persuade the district attorney, John Flynn, by calling his office and asking for him to not put up opposition to the motion. And his number would be 716-858-2424, extension 1. Also, I like to say, Bishop, that we having a prayer service on January the 18th. We, more details of it are going to be coming, but we trying to get it in front of the WAPO radio station so that we can have a prayer service, just before the motion go in, hoping that, it will help us, persuade district attorney, to do the right thing, or that we just be successful when we go into court. And lastly, if you don't mind,
yes, sir.
I like to say that the Buffalo Five is supporting a toy giveaway with Kente Claus down there at the radio station, so we'll be involved lightly with that also. And finally, I like to so much wish, but thank you for all the work that you've given us, especially the T-shirts that you recently gave to us. It was good for us, and we like to thank you so very much for all the things you did for us.
And I'd like to do so also, Bishop. Is there a boy? Yes. We on our way. We're on our way. We're really on our way, and let's just continue to pray, support one another, and let's, get this undone. Not to ask for it. Let's just be, we want this undone.
Yes, sir. Thank you both. Much love for you, brothers.
Thank you.
See, this is yesterday I was on a call with lawyers. I think they have to have so many continuing credits or something, lawyers. And so I was a guest speaker along with Attorney Gresham and others. Well, it was basically us two. And they were asking us about Carrio's Law and how we got Carrio's Law passed, right? And one of the things I talked about was the community support and how important community support was. And, we can work against each other all day long, and all we're going to do is tear apart our community. But when we work together, we're able to do, like, you have lawyers across the country who are talking about what's happening in Buffalo and how we actually got a law of the duty to intervene, Carrio's Law, when other places who have been talking about police reform have not done half of what we have been able to do working together. And so the same way we work together for Carrio's Law, the same way that we work together that's how we got to work together for these brothers.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, listen, if I committed a crime and I did the time and I get out. Listen, I'm just trying to be free. I ain't trying to keep on pushing.
I'm about my own business.
They've been pushing since they were arrested. They had someone who confessed. Like, this is crazy. Please help them out. All right. Now to other developing news. So, first of all, let me preface why I'm talking about this and where I am in my life. The only thing I want in my life is peace. And what I do not want to be is someone who is always got to clap back, go back and forth, especially with my own people, but really with anybody. I am thankful to God to be in positions to help other people, because that's what it's about for me. So when I see adults going back and forth, I'm not going to participate in that. I'm not. So my response to something that I think is important for me to respond to is out of love. I want to operate. I want to be as peaceful in my life as I can possibly be. I want to sleep well at night. I want to work hard, and then I want to play hard, and I want to rest hard. And I think that when especially adults, and we've had so much back and forth and hatred in our community, I don't want to be that person. So I have to continually remind myself of the Savior that I follow. So when I initially saw a brother basically say that I was supporting something 100%, when I clearly said, you must get community support, it did upset me because I was very clear. And then when it went into the next week, a very professional show of a role play of a council member and what the council member should be doing for the developer, and that the council member should be basically the promoter for the developer. It disappointed me more than angered me. It didn't anger me. It disappointed me. All out of love, all out of peace. And the reason it disappointed me is because so often people will believe what they see in social media as fact. And if I don't tell you all the fact from my end, it will be believed and carried on for years. There's a saying that you can't defend what you don't know. And so what I want you to know is the truth. And I get nothing. I won't say nothing. I get a paycheck, but I don't get anything from trying to help somebody in a different way than I do everybody else. So here's the deal. If you want to develop in Ellicott, come on. However, what is most important to me is that the people who live around the projects that you want to do are a part of the process, especially if you need to purchase city land. I have been consistent with that. Now, it doesn't mean that everything everybody wants I'm going to be able to do. Some people say, hey, well, this project here, and we wanted a glass door, and you didn't get the glass door. Some things you can't get because if it's in code, it's in the code. We try to work with developers, but every developer, here are the words basically I say. If the people love it, I love it. If the people hate it, I hate it. Okay? That's how I run. And so I was just disappointed for someone to do their show, which they have the opportunity, and I love you. But to then say after I left the meeting and said, you have to get the community involved. They recorded that meeting, and we recorded that meeting. It's on record. I left that meeting saying it, only to bump up on their show where they said that I and someone else was in support. I want you to notice I have not used anybody's name because I'm not going to do a back and forth. I simply want the record to be straight. Is that when you come into the Ellicott district, hey, we got a bar where the community hated it, right? That bar, I won't say where. What did we do? We brought the community in.
Sure did.
We brought the bar owner in. When the community feels that the bar is out of pocket, we've got to stand on the side of the community. I can't think of one project in which the Lawrence.
Yep.
I didn't sign off on the Lawrence until those people on the street. One of the people was like, no, put it up for my property values to go up. Then you have people who did not even live near it. Didn't even live near it. I'm not saying I didn't listen to their voices, but the voices that are loudest to me are those who have to be around the development.
Absolutely.
We have High Street, criticized over and over for that building that's sitting on High. Dr. Daniels is a designated developer. I was just on the phone this week.
Yep.
Am I right?
Sure was.
Saying the community wants this. Now, if you can convince the community that something else better is better, I'm all in.
Absolutely.
But what I was told from the community is that we want this to be a landmark. Did I agree? Nope. I didn't. I think the building should be knocked down. The building is falling apart.
Yep.
No developer wants to touch it. But what did I do? I produced for the community over and over and over and over and over and over again. Mount Aaron, that big piece of land they're doing over there. What did I say to Pastor Jones? And I talked to him yesterday. Pastor Jones, you've got to get the community. And when I say Pastor Jones had, to me, one of the biggest community meetings I've stepped into, his sanctuary was packed.
Sure was.
And he had gone from door to door. He had talked to people so that when I walked in the room, and I wasn't in that room, I'm not kidding you, no more than 15 minutes. Because he had already given this presentation, and the people were like, we love it, we love it, we love it. You know what I got up and said? Well, there's no reason for me to stay here any longer because I just heard from the community.
Yep.
And yesterday he called me to say, hey, the weather is delaying us a little bit, but we're on. This is how I operate. This is how I operate. I only ask them. There's several things that I'm consistent on. If a person wants to buy city land to build housing, I push that a component of it will be affordable housing.
Yes.
Thus, the downtown where the new grocery store is going, I'm going to call it an O Street store, right? So where that's going and where the apartments are going, that was going to be market rate. I fought hard, and it's now going to be 100% affordable housing in downtown Buffalo. The land that Douglas Jamal wants right now, the city land, I was clear. It even got said at the press conference.
Sure did.
I don't want people who have lived in Buffalo to have to drive past projects that are going on and they can't have a piece of it.
While we're being pushed out to first ring suburbs.
Exactly.
Because you can't afford to live.
Because you can't afford to live.
Yeah.
So I'm working my butt off. And I'm not going to stop. And I'm not intimidated. I want to be clear. Now, I'm talking in my Dalai Lama voice, or I pray my, peace. But I'm not intimidated. I'm not intimidated at all. It's about working together. And you can push and you can push and you can try to intimidate me and you can, I don't care. I'm from Buffalo. Winslow, as a matter of fact, for those who think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I grew up on Winslow, 31 to be exact. I lived right in this neighborhood until I left for the military. So at the end of the day, I'm not intimidated, and we can get so much more done by instead of trying to work against, work together. And when we work together, we get so much more done. So that's where I'm at. I don't have all that rah-rah to do. I don't have it. I'm a grown, mature man, seasoned. And so my role in life as a believer is to bring peace and not chaos. It is to organize so that we can progress. And so I'm withdrawing myself from any type of confusion and innuendos. Let's say it straight up. You want to do a project? Come see me if it's in Ellicott. And I don't care who you are or who you're not. Intimidation don't work for me. It don't. It doesn't. Matter of fact, it really does nothing. I just keep going and going like the Energizer Bunny. Amber Bowling says, what about where I live, Lovejoy area, East Delavan? How is that Lovejoy? Tell me. I don't know. I'm not sure what the question is. Sharon Patterson White says messy. Yeah, and I won't be messy. I won't. Listen, I want when you all remember me when I'm over there in Birchwood at Forest Lawn, right across from Shirley Chisholm in my little grave. I want to be known as a person who tried to help other people. I don't want to be doing all this rah-rah and going. What did we get out of all that? Nah. Craig Damone, there's a scripture that talks about this type of behavior. I believe it's found somewhere in the gospel he got a hold. I'm not even going to finish reading it. No, Sharon, I know. No, Sharon, I know. Sharon said, "Mess." Yeah, I know, and I won't participate in that. I'm 56 years old. God has allowed me to be in positions of power, not to hurt and not to intimidate and not to be egotistical and not to be narcissistic. When we're elected to these offices, including the church, I mean, there's pastors out there and go, the Lord put me here, ain't nothing you can do about it. No. If you in a nonprofit organization, there is something people can do. If you got a tax exempt, you don't own that church. You don't own that church. The people have an opportunity to say, we don't want to employ you anymore.
And I think you got to be careful when you talk about the Lord put me here and ain't nothing you can do about it, because just as he elected, he can
just as he selected, he can deselect.
Exactly.
You got to know how to treat people. I wish you had my district, Amber. Charlene, there are those who prefer to believe the worst and the truth. Yeah, and there'll still be people go like, he offered a development, I have a developer right now who's like, I don't know, I guess angry at me. I'm okay with that. You all must not understand. I'm okay when people are, it's okay. But what you'll never be able to say, he made a deal with this. He told them yes before they talked to the community. No, I can look at, just like anybody else, a developer can come show me something and I go, okay, well, I like it, but don't I say this, Mark, all the time? This looks good to me. But it's the community that has to be around. Sherman Street, prime example. Mm-hmm. Developer comes, they wanted to leave that chimney up from the church, which I didn't agree with. Mm-hmm. They left it up. Church comes along, a church. They want to build, and I'm like, what are you going to do with the chimney? Oh, later we're going to come back and do something with it. Nope. I said, no, you're not going to leave this community like that. And literally, on the next meeting, I helped to redesign how to connect it. The architect said, I think we can do that. Yep. And called back, and they're connecting the chimney. Mm-hmm. That's how you do the work of the people. You got to include the people. So beloved. This guy here at 56 just wants peace and want to help as many people as I can before I either go to sleep or before I go to retirement. Do you hear me? That's my job. So if you hear anything other than that, it's probably just not the truth. You know, they said, well, why won't he promote this? Now, first they said I was promoting, that I was all for it. Then when I stated fairly publicly that developers have to go to the people, then they said, well, it must be personal. It's not personal. It has nothing, I want to be clear, it has nothing to do with personal. It has to do with people. And that's just it. So I've said it, I'm done with it, and that's where I'm at. Okay? All right. Let's be grown. Schools open or not? Renters not paying their rent in the last 15 minutes. So here again. Katrina said, not beloved. Yep. Carolyn Lane says people can do research and find out things on their own. Look things up. Come on. Remember, I ran for this office to keep a large housing complex from being sold to the University of Buffalo that would have moved people now that downtown was coming back. I ran for this office so that City Mission didn't get run out of, people didn't want City Mission to stay.
Oh, I hear these receipts being cashed.
Come on. And what has City Mission just done? Built a brand new building.
Beautiful
that
building.
I helped raise.
Sure did.
$4 million for. Mm-hmm. I ran for this position so that others, not just one church or two churches could do development, but that so many could. And it's happening. That's the joy I get. I don't get the joy from being on the front row. I don't get the joy I get the joy. I don't even get the joy. Y'all can have all the ribbon cuttings you want. You ain't got to never invite me. I get the joy when somebody gets to move into an apartment that they can afford that's new and shiny. That's where I get the joy. I get the joy when somebody called the other day, and it's not even my job. Now listen to this, that their grandson was in jail and they wasn't giving him his medicine. And we got him his medicine. I get the joy. I get the joy that guy called. Did you say something about a tree or something?
Oh, yeah,
been trying
tree.
to get it for over 15, 16 years.
It's been almost 30.
And when he got that tree cut down and he was thrilled. I get the joy when people are dumping in my community and we're able to catch them and clean up. That's my joy. That's my joy. Sad day, Sheila Taylor says, when they work hard and cannot afford these beautiful properties because they're priced. I agree. That's why we got to do this work. And that's why we have to do it right. I believe in development, but I believe in smart development. Mm-hmm. Not just every time a developer comes that you say, yes, oh, good. Oh, thanks. Because and then the people who need it most, like the renters. So I'm hearing, y'all tell me if I'm right or wrong, that some people are not going to get this rental assistance because they can't be kicked out right now, can't be evicted. And so this is what I'm hearing. Y'all tell me if I'm right. So not just one, several landlords are called and go like, first of all, the courts are closed. And so the last landlord that I talked to was like, well, if we could just talk, if the court would just allow us to talk to the tenant with the court present so that we could get our money when this is over, or get people to go down and you could call, I think it's 211.
Yes,
Is that 211 for rental assistance? Now, what I'm told is, I don't know this for fact, and Jan had said something earlier and she can clarify, is that you have to apply for social services for the county money.
That was the Erie County program.
Right. The city money is not going to be the same way. The money that's coming to us to the city, because there will be another rental assistance program and another mortgage assistance program. I don't believe you have to apply for social services. You just have to qualify, and you have to have a COVID-related reason why you could not pay your rent. Folks, listen, I'm telling you from my heart, the reason I can go and buy something and not need a cosigner is because whatever I put my name on, I try my best. Now, there are things that's going to happen in my life where I cannot pay. You can get sick. You can lose your job. You can, be accused of something, got to spend lawyer. You don't know what's going to happen. But as long as you're able to pay your bills, please pay what you can. Make sure you don't put yourself in a worse position that, okay, I didn't pay my rent for 4 months, and now for 4 years, your credit is messed up, especially when there is help out there if you qualify. So the number is 211. It is so important during this pandemic because it'll be over sooner or later. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have the ability to evict sooner or later. And then you'll be out. And then it's going to be like, what do you do? And especially if elderly people, they pay their bills.
Oh, yeah.
You get to a certain age, you're like, listen, I ain't messing around with
They're
this.
going to be like, I'm not without a roof.
But you can't, and I'm hearing more and more where people are not paying the rent. 211 is the number. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you out there have some information I don't have, and that's why we're on this show. But I told you, this is a season for me to help. This is a season for me to promote. This is a season of love and peace in my life. And I'm trying to help somebody. You got to keep your credit up, folks. The best you can. If you walking around now with an Apple 14, and you can't keep that bill up, you gonna have to get a not a Cricket,
Boost version.
You're gonna have to get a like a Roach, something, whatever. We got to pare down.
Well, and I
got to pare down.
And I think, like you said, that was what a lot of people were saying is, like, especially with the rush to buy the PS5. Mm-hmm. And it was like, if the cost of the PS5, which I believe is $550,
yes.
If that's higher than your credit score, you need to leave that PS5.
You got to leave it alone. And people don't want to have that conversation, and they'll click off, or they'll, but it's like, Katrina says, I paid mines because I absolutely refuse to live with anyone else. Mm-hmm. Come on now. Bernadette says, real talk, it's important to pay if you can. If you can, and if you can't, you need to call. You need to make arrangements. You need to have something on file so that your credit score during this pandemic does not go down in the basement. Because nowadays, you need a credit score for everything.
Everything.
Get an apartment, you need a credit score. To go get a car, you need a good credit score. So you got to make sure. And if we don't have this conversation now, then it'll be like, well, he getting rich and he don't care about no. No, I just learned how to handle my money at a young age. That's all. I'm a working stiff. I go to work every day. Absolutely. Do not put yourself, this is Sheila Taylor, in a worse position, especially if you have children. Anything coming up on that feed?
There was.
Go ahead.
Thaddeus Dunn was basically just saying it's time to downgrade. And Marie Collins said, I know some who could have paid their rent and was trying to just play the system. Yeah,
so like, folks, this is real talk I'm trying to give you, and it's about your future. I'm not saying everything is fair. I'm not saying everything is right. What I am saying is that there is a system. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. And if you don't participate in the system and you're not trying to change the system, you ain't gonna beat the system over and over. Sooner or later, it's gonna come back to haunt you. And when you go, this is the stuff that it costs more to be poor.
Yes.
Than to have some money. It does, because this is when your insurance is gonna go up. This is when, you go for a job now. Many jobs check your credit.
Yeah, sure do.
So now think about it. If your credit is bottomed out and you're qualified for the job, and especially if you're African living in America, your percentage of getting the job is already less. So now let's give them something to be able to say, well, we couldn't take you because your credit score. This is so important, whether you like the system or not. It's the system we live in. Mm-hmm. And the only way to change the system is to get involved.
Absolutely. I was getting ready to say, this system wasn't created for us.
Absolutely.
From day one. So the creators of the system know how to beat the system better than you can.
Think about our president and the alleged little bit of taxes. I didn't pay more in taxes from my little jobs than he paid, period. And I can't, I don't have the resources to figure out how he was able to only pay, I don't know, was it $800 or something? Whatever the amount was. I can't even remember.
He paid more to China than he did to U.S.
Jan, what were you talking about? I don't know what you was talking about. Well, we on the radio, so you can't talk in the background. You got to get to a mic. You said what?
So, good afternoon. I was just going to share that
Open up her mic. I think she.
the 211 rent relief.
Pull that mic closer, please.
Okay, you, to my knowledge, because I've worked with the tenant,
Mm-hmm.
you do not apply for social services and then get denied. The process was so easy. We were taken.
So
back.
so
He
what we
called-
learned wasn't true.
You call 211, you go online, you fill out the application. They ask the landlord for a notice that says they're delinquent on their rent. They ask for their email address. You get a verification. They call to verify it. I got it it was all done within 30 days and less.
30 days.
And
The money came through.
the money came directly to me.
It goes directly to the landlord. Folks, this is so important. So
And
I was given misinformation, or maybe Jan is giving misinformation. I don't know. Maybe the person she might not know.
No,
but
I actually called the person before I came in here as a good reporter to verify what his process was.
as a good reporter.
Yes. I
Oh,
wanted to
so
make sure-
you fact checked.
I fact checked.
Come on, you fact
I
checked.
called
and
to
you
make
got the
sure-
receipts.
I got the receipts and the minutes.
And you got your rent.
I got the check.
Most importantly.
You got
Yes.
the
the
So
money
this
came
is the
through.
point.
Yes.
Regardless of whether Jan is right or wrong,
Really?
I just double down, don't I?
Yes. Yes.
I don't quit. I don't quit.
Yes.
I don't quit. Here's the point. People are getting their rent.
Yes.
And folks, if you qualify, because what is it, a certain amount that you can make?
Well, I don't even know. It's due to like this person lost his job because of COVID. So
Right. So it was COVID related.
So it's COVID related.
Owen Steed, the Honorable Owen Steed, is on right now on the watch party. In Niagara Falls, we have NICAP, 285-9681, extension 103. If you miss it, just replay. And Catholic Charities at 282-2351. Folks, you gotta use what's out there. You can even get mortgage assistance.
Yes.
So this isn't just for people who are renters. This is also for people who own their home. If you have a COVID-related reason that you cannot pay, but at least see if you qualify. What is Craig talking about? Hold on. Don't disrespect my aunt. She's a CEO. Oh, CEO. I thought he said you a CAO. And then she drops the mic and walks out.
But I was trying to figure out why she brought the mic to her and then got up out the chair.
She did do that. Did you record that? Did you put that on?
No, I was wondering what was happening there.
Yeah, Janique, I'm dropping receipts because you have to. Because I need people to know, and whether they believe it or not, but go do your research. Go do your research because this is not, nah. And it's all out of love, peace, and kindness to just let people know. Okay, 211. Let's get these rent paid. Let's get this rent paid, and let's keep up our credit as best we can. But call whoever lent you money, or whoever you owe, or whatever bill you have. Make sure. So I'm on a board right now, and Bureau. I'm on Bureau, and one of the things that they do is they loan money to small businesses. They have. And there is a business, and I'm not going to say what the business is to tell that business, who is asking for reduction in their payments back. And the underwriter suggested an amount, and it was like only, I don't know, $30 under whatever this person is paying now. But here's what the underwriter said the other day. This person calls constantly and lets us know where they're at. This person shares their finances. We know that they are trying, and when they have it, they pay it. You want to know what my motion was? Why? Let's just put this on pause for 3 months, because they'll just keep getting in the hole, and until that business can pick back up.
Absolutely.
And it was a unanimous vote. That's power to the people. Because it's an inner city business who, once the underwriter said they call, they let us know. And I would do it for anybody who, if I'm sitting in a seat and I have the ability to say, let's put this on hold for these months. I don't have the ability on certain things, but where I do, I think it's important. But you gotta call, you gotta stay in contact with the people you owe money to. Samuel Rafford, we have 2 sets of facts on whether it's safe for our schools to Sam, give me a call here real quick. We'll get you on the air. What's the number real quick? Oh, I'm down to 4 minutes. Let's see if we can get Sam up, because I do want to, these last 4 minutes, to open or not to open, or to do a hybrid model. Whether it's safe for our children to go to school, superintendent science and the governor's county health commissioner science, which one is true? I don't know. Let me tell you, I'm so confused about stuff right now. I don't even know. Can a church be open right now? Can you only have 20 people? That's Sam. Sam, talk to us real quick.
Yeah, so like I said in the text, we just got 2 sets of facts right now. The superintendent has said that it's not safe for us to open our schools. Schools won't open until February 1st. But obviously we got kids who are going to charter schools, private schools, Catholic schools, who are going to school every day. So we want to know is, because the superintendent says the governor's benchmark is too low, you know what I'm saying? And, so his is higher, you know what I'm saying? So he's making a decision that our kids won't go back to school till February. And we just want to know which facts are true, what the governor and the county health commissioner is saying, or what the superintendent is saying. And we just need to get some clarity on that.
Yeah, I wish they would all get on the same page so that, we do know. I just got a message, Sam, from Janique Curry that says gyms and salons are able to open back up at 25%. That must have just got announced.
Must have just happened.
So we got to get some more clarity. Let's if things are still up in the air, I want to spend some more time on this next week and get you on. Okay, Sam?
Yes, sir. I'll be ready.
All right. Love you, brother. All right. Mobile food pantry coming up December the 16th. When is that? Next week?
Wednesday.
I love that little clock up there. I don't know why you got rid of Danetta's grandmother clock up there. December the 16th
is in the video.
December the 16th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here at True Bethel. Taste of Faith, our Taste of Faith food pantry, 594 Winslow. Please receive an emergency food box filled with nutritious items for you and your family. It's a drive up, pick up, strongly encouraged. You know what? I have we got to go. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home. 3 locations to serve you: 347 Peckham, 2528 Bailey, and 1275 Sycamore. Also, Hobson's, the Doctor of Dry Cleaning, 874 East Delavan, right here in the city of Buffalo. Don't forget, let me see, Taste of Faith. Joining them on December 16th will be New York State Senator Tim Kennedy, Mayor Byron Brown, Feed More Western New York member Mary Ellen Fradina, and her husband, Channel 7 weather anchor Andy Parker. This station, WUFO 96.5 FM and more. This is a big deal.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be broadcasting from here.
This is a big deal.
Yes.
But what's most important, getting people fed. Folks, I'm in a great place in my life. I'm 56. My job now is to help, to boost, to push, to love. Until next week, power to the people. Rhonda Macklin says, hey, y'all, for the after party. We there already? Hey, Rhonda Macklin is saying, so we're off air right now. Rhonda is saying, yes, Como was just on, and he said gym and salon can reopen in the orange zone. Did he say anything about church? Because they had 25% capacity. So he says that they can open. So that's real important. So little after party stuff. So like Sam, I believe, was, and that we didn't get a chance to really get into it, but in the article I saw, I think he was suggesting a hybrid model, kind of those who want to come to school, those who don't. What are y'all thinking after party? Would you, anyway, I ain't even gonna, I'm not gonna go into Petty Craig. Here we go. What do you all, are you ready to send your children back? Those of you who your children are not like Craig Damone Pridgen, who they don't, yeah. Would you send your children back right now if you could? Would you send them back, or would you keep them home at this point, or would you? Yeah, because I've got two who are still in school, Jamie and Jaden, and one wants to go back to school bad. He's in 8th grade. He wants to go back bad.
Yeah.
The other one, he wouldn't care if school stayed closed forever.
Yeah.
He would be a homeschool candidate. Like, let me just stay home and watch on the computer. Sharita says, no, I would not send my child back. I'm still not getting a lot of people who say they're ready to send them back, but I'm going to be honest. I'm real concerned because it's hard to give tests online. You know, it's a lot. And just that accountability, that constant accountability. So I'm so in the middle, like I really don't have it. You know, people ask me for opinion. I'm like, I'm not on the school board, but I'm torn. If Stepping Stone Academy was open, I would send my children. Boy, it's enough shade on this line right now that we could.
Yeah, that watch party is crazy.
The watch party is crazy. Sam says, and you all can see it, parents should have a choice. If you want, you should be able. If you don't want, you shouldn't be forced to. And yeah, you know, I feel that. I mean, I know that if we did have a choice, Jamie would be going back to school. And against probably our wishes, but you know, if he's old enough that he knows to keep his mask on. He's old enough, but he wants to experience that. You know, I know he's not a senior, but he's in 8th grade. So that's your lad. You know, you the class now, and they miss it. You know, I got it.
Yeah, I know my kids, every time I talk to them, they want to be back at school. They miss their friends.
They do,
miss
huh?
that social interaction. I'm kind of like you. Like, the science, I'm just like, you know, that's why, like, I also haven't been able to see them because I'm
right.
I don't want to bring New York to that.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm in that kind of limbo. Like, you know, I want them to have that social ability, but I also want them to be safe.
Yeah.
And what's that balance?
Jim Woodard says the only thing my 10th grader teachers mute them out, talk, laugh among each other. Well, I ain't gonna, Jen, I understand. Trust me. Rhonda Macklin says she agrees with Sam. Carolyn says, Lisa, that's funny. Let me see what Lisa said. Teresa Pridgen Boykins is cracking up. Lisa says, no, not until the custodial staff stop working. Not until the custodial staff stops working virtually. Sam says, how can it be safe for some kids to go to school and learning hubs and not you know, Sam, now this part I would agree. I really am okay with the learning hubs. And like I said, for my kid, for the oldest one who's still in school, who really wants to be there, I am so torn because, you know, as a parent, you want that. But I'm so concerned about the educational process and where our kids are going to be, and whether they're going to have a full summer and do all that kind of stuff. My man Joel is here. Go on, sit down, Joel. What we going to do? Standing up, or we going to? So I'm on live on the after party, but go ahead, get them situated. Sam Rapper says, how can it be safe? Overseer Collins is on. So Overseer Collins, you into our after party of our radio show. And I know people are in different places. I know one of my colleagues on the council has spoken very strongly about his desire for children to go back to school. I know that others are like, no, we're not ready. It's a tough call, and it's one that personally I'm glad I don't have to make. I don't have to make that decision. There are people that you all have elected to the Board of Education. There's a superintendent that you all, support and that I support. But if I had my way, now, I'm just saying, Darius, this is not an official, so let me say this before it pops up in the paper. It is not the official. This is Darius as a parent. There would be an option for whether I wanted to send my child or not. If I had and part of it is just to get them out of my house.
You need a break.
It don't even have anything to do with education.
Hey, listen, I think the broadband business needs a break. I think We all need a break.
Oh,
I think everybody needs a break. So
I know school is not babysitter, but Lord have mercy. Let me tell you this. I commend every good teacher out there. Applause to you.
Absolutely.
My kid is the kids are in my office right now. And Jaden looks up to me today. And many of you know I taught school. Some say a long time ago, but anyway. I digress.
Point is, you taught.
Yeah, point is, I truly taught school. And when I taught school, it was tough. I can't. So my son says to me, Papa, would you want to be a principal? It didn't even take a second for me to answer because I said, no, absolutely not. I don't have enough patience at 56 years old to be dealing with some of these childrens. And I have childrens. And so when they're around, the little boy, he gets such an attitude so quickly. Him and his brother, and they're playing the other day, just playing. Now, the brother is taller than him. He a little bit more chunky. When he gets mad, all that, and I'm like, take the garbage out. I just went back to my home. I was like, I can't. I'm too old.
I'll be honest. I know I can't because I know what I did to my teachers.
Yeah.
I know what I did to my administrative staff. I can't. I know.
So we're getting ready to get off of here, but Craig Damone says I didn't have patience at 46, and then he put 36, and then he put 26. He's saying I've never had patience. I think I'm a very patient.
You have the patience of the Dalai Lama.
I really do. Who's calling us? And Joe, we only got 3 more minutes, and then we're gonna make this commercial. Just hang up on him.
Like that's already that's the rating.
We don't even have that. We don't even know what number it is.
No idea.
I do have patience. My patience runs thin sometime. However, one of my favorite people is the Dalai Lama. Mm-hmm. I love peace and tranquility, and I try my best even when my buttons are being pushed.
Yeah.
I just try to breathe and say, how can we get through this?
Yeah.
Carolyn Lane said, that's Craig calling.
And you do. And now working closely with you for the last 2.5 years, I know your patience worn thin tells. Mm-hmm. So even when I have that pile of papers, I'm like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, you know when I'm done.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, no,
we're not gonna do that today.
Yeah, no,
let's just leave them alone today.
Yeah,
because it takes a lot to really rattle my cage. And usually the things that rattle my cage have nothing to do with me. I don't like seeing people mistreated by others in power. I can't stand that. And so that rattles my cage. But usually for me, I mean, you can like me, you don't have to like me. I really don't.
Yeah.
Are we on Facebook? Can I say bad words?
Yes.
I really don't give a dang. I'll use Rashid's bad word. Because Rashid, that's how he cuss. Joe, you ever notice that? Rashid cusses like, I don't give a dang. Dagnat. You're really melting my butter. They're grinding my gears.
The shade has been real.
I got to get ready to get off of here. Sam Raffer said, I hope it's not too late and our children don't experience academic irreparable harm. Honestly,
that's
the line right there.
Right.
It's not for me about whether they're in person. Our children are already so far behind. And if now if you got to compete, and they do have to compete in life, with a child who is at Nichols, with a child who is at St. Joe's, with a child with a student who's at Canisius, and this is no disrespect to their systems. Mm-hmm. And this is why I keep telling you all, keep your credit up. Come on now, you don't want to hear it, but I'm going to keep saying it because you can't blame somebody else. Now, the system is rigged. The system is rigged. But then you either got to figure out, you're not going to beat this system. Mm-mm. You got to participate in it. I went to private school all of my life. All of my life except 2 years that I begged to go to public school. I begged because I was on the bus. I had to take a bus. Everybody didn't heard my walk 50 mile story.
Yep.
I had to take a bus from the east side of Buffalo, get a transfer, get on, go down Main Street, go all the way to Eastern Hills, get off there and get on the yellow bus to go to school in Clarence. My parents are not wealthy. We had one car, never a luxury car when I was growing up. We had one car. We lived in a rented apartment until my parents, my dad went to my granddad to help him buy a house, and my grandfather said, I'm not giving you anything. For every whatever you save, I'll add to it. And that's how we had our first house, where my parents still live to this day. That is paid off, and they're now both retired, and they don't have to beg anybody for anything. This, in the last couple of years, this is the first time my parents had two cars. My mother just got a new car the other day. A Kia. She loves that little Kia truck, right? Yep. At the end of the day, my parents gave me a house, and they didn't give it to me. They made me pay the mortgage on a house that they had bought that they were renting out. And when I graduated from college, my father walked up to me and said, your gift is you don't have to pay anymore. They taught me how to do it. My mother signed for my first credit card and said, this is the first time and the last time I'm signing for you. My point is, you don't have to have a lot of money in order to get yourself together. We got to do it, and we got to start talking about it. All right, listen, I got to go. I got Joe Fairletto here, my man. Joel is my little brother from another mother. And we're getting ready to do what for Linda Pellegrino. We're getting ready to do something special for Linda Pellegrino, who is retiring from WKBW. And he's here. Joe, who do you have with you?
I have Logan, who works in the Delaware District Council office. She started during COVID, so she's been...
Yeah, so nobody knows.
So she's been with us for four months now.
Yeah, and so you hired her during COVID, and so are you enjoying the council? But this is the modified version. Council members are working, and I want people to know that the council members are still actively working for their constituents, and that's so important. All right, Amber Bowling says, well, Amber, he said nothing about church, which is more important. I agree. We got to find out about it. Listen, you can join us if you're a part of the True Bethel Church. You can be a part of our virtual audience on Sunday morning.
Yes.
You can call the church right now. Somebody's standing by at 895-8222. You must be an active member, because I can't have nobody getting on the virtual photobombing and acting crazy, because it resonates. It doesn't go away. It reverberates, and people regurgitate. I'm just making up words. Here's my point. If you're part of the True Bethel Church and we know who you are, now somebody gonna say they picking and choosing. You daggone Skippy.
For this, yes.
For this, because you'll be on the Zoom while we are live. So, so I want to get, those leaders who are part of the church, I want to get you in the sanctuary this Sunday. I want to get you in the sanctuary, and I want to get those members on the virtual and on the Zoom. Listen, we'll be back next week, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Thank you for joining us for Power to the People. We'll check you out later.